Thank you for being with us to celebrate our 40-year adventure, which we hope has brought good things to the lives of those we serve and to all who have been along on this trip. Most especially, thank you to Diane Geis, who started in 1970 at Country Lawn as a teenager and continues to be with us today.
In 1972, I was the regional sales manager for Allied Chemical. Today it's known as Honeywell. I didn't see the opportunities for me and my family that I'd hoped for up until that time. So I decided to look for other opportunities to go and avoid having to relocate the family. We did purchase a 50-bed nursing home in Westerville at that time. It was known as the Mann Nursing Home. We were both in our 30s, and we did some things then that we wouldn't think of doing today.
We didn't tell our friends what we were up to because we didn't want them to know if we had failed. We robbed our children's piggy banks as well as ours, sold their Series E savings bonds as well as ours, and took a second mortgage on our home as well as borrowing money from family.
Those funds provided the down payment for the purchase of the nursing home. But guess what? No working capital. The saving grace was the 40 private pay patients that we had, along with a family mentality of responsibility.
At times, we think the worst thing that could happen to us turns out to be the best thing. 8 months after purchasing Mann Nursing Home in Westerville, Jer lost his job with Allied Chemical, but had already begun negotiations for the purchase of Country Lawn. With 3 children under 9 and nothing but debt, we lived on 3 months of severance pay for 7 months. We are living proof that what we think is the worst thing can turn out to be the best.
Today, the company is working on the Lean program, a program where the employees are brought together to work on efficiencies and procedures to enable the company to be more efficient. 40 years ago, we had our own Lean program. Betty Savage, who was the director of nursing at Country Lawn at that time, and I shared an 8x8 office. In that small space, we were able to accomplish things.
Bob Riley, who is director of marketing for the Schreer Group, had another full-time job, but made evening house calls to work on marketing plans for the nursing homes.
While today executives wear suit and tie to work, I, at that time, wore casual clothes because that would fit underneath a jumpsuit and boots. You have to dress that way in order to clean out the sewage treatment plant. We've come a long, long way.
It hasn't all been good, but the good far outweighs the bad.
In the beginning, even then, Jerry knew how to dress. Jerry worked his way through high school with a variety of high-profile jobs, including the bat boy for the 1954 St. Louis Cardinals. Hall of Famer Stan Musial seemed to take a liking to this young man, frequently inviting Jerry to dinner at his popular restaurant. In 1961, the first merger. Jerry Schreer becomes a professional licensed nursing home administrator. Diane Geis.
My time with Jerry and Sue and the company goes back to the summer when Jerry and Sue purchased what was then known as Country Lawn Nursing Home. I've experienced many changes and challenges over our years of growth and development since then. I was very fortunate in those early years to have Jerry as my mentor. He taught me the principles of business ethics and the importance of employee respect and relations. Those same principles still guide me in my leadership today. And Sue was always there with her focus of family, regardless if it was their family, my family, or the family of our staff and residents. The need for support and concern was always present and foremost. That's one aspect that I still feel makes our company unique even today. We continue to focus on our employees and their families. I'm very thankful for the many years I've been with this great company, and I wish us only continued success and growth. I love you both, Jerry and Sue. God bless.
Greg Colliner,
40 years of hard work, 40 years of mostly success stories, 40 years of impressive facts and figures, 40 years of fun facts, 40 years of challenges met. Many of the stories of those successes and challenges will be told today. There's so many that they can't all be told today. Tonight, many of us will reminisce about the first time we met Sue or Jerry. For me, I met Jerry several times before 1986, but in 1986, he purchased Navarre. I clearly remember the day that he came to spend with me to orient me to the Alter Care operations. We were discussing many things about the operations, and at one point he paused and asked me what the facility was paying for a loaf of bread. I still remember the answer. The answer was 27 cents. I was surprised that Jerry would be interested in such detail at that time. I've come to know since not to be surprised by Jerry's interest in detail. But I also came to realize more than being interested in the detail, he was interested in what I knew. That was my first day with the Alter Care company. I also remember my first administrators meeting. My first administrators meeting was in Jerry's office at the round table with 4 other administrators and myself. At that meeting, Bob Riley introduced a program called the Disney Report. That Disney Report was an assessment of facility appearance and some aspects of facility operations. The Disney Report grew to become what is now our clinical audit process. Starting in 1986, with my assignment at Navarre, I then had the opportunities that as the company grew, to take on more assignments in other buildings and other communities. As I look back on it, the assignment that had the most influence on me for the future was not a glamorous assignment. It was Jerry Jr. and I being teamed up to run Shalem Nursing Home in Massillon and Corman Nursing Home in Canton. Neither of those facilities are still in operation, but at the time they were in operation, they were an important part of what we've become today. They were also an important part of the relationship building that Jerry and I achieved. I now realize that that assignment, more than anything else, prepared Jerry and I for the relationship building and the experiences that were necessary to start the ancillary companies. In 1994, we started the therapy company, began the temp staffing company, began the home health company, as well as the x-ray company. Those are the companies that I had the privilege of participating in the startup. When the company started up, there were many voices who said, the ancillary companies are not a good idea. Well, 19 years later, those companies are still operating, demonstrating that 19 years ago, Sue and Jerry had it right. Those companies started in a round table in Jerry's office. At that same round table in that office, I also had the privilege of watching Jerry quickly move to the acquisition of Avalon Foods. His acquisition of Avalon Foods was a good business move. It was also a move that kept jobs in Canal Fulton that without his intervention, those jobs would not have been there, they would not be here today. I'm one of the sentimentalists who are glad that Jerry's office is still there and it's intact as it was when we held that first administrators meeting and when we started the ancillary companies. But more importantly, I'm thrilled that Sue and Jerry continue with their mission. A mission of success, a mission of growth, a mission of integrity, a mission of opportunity. I'm thrilled to have been a part of it. Congratulations on 40 years, and look forward to many more.
Aaron Durrell.
I started with Avalon in July of 1978, working on the docks at night while going to school, and was able to work my way up to dock supervisor, and as part of that I got to work with the computer systems. One of the great things that happened to me was I was asked to babysit the computers all night long, and that led to a lot of opportunities for me. Within a few years I was managing the IT operations at Avalon, and so had a pretty good run there. And a few years after that I was promoted to a vice president level. In the 1990s, when the Schreier family bought the Avalon company, I got to meet Greg Colliner and Jerry Jr. and eventually Jerry Sr. and Sue Schreier. I met Jerry for the first time while I was demonstrating our Answers software. The demo went pretty well, I thought. He seemed to enjoy it, and it was a great way to get to meet the boss. Since then, we've built a huge network with over 1,500 computers in 20 different locations, and it ties the whole enterprise together, and there's been just a never-ending stream of investment in the IT department that's provided me with huge opportunities over the years. One thing that was a constant throughout all this, as I say, is the rock-solid commitment to integrity that Jerry and Sue Schreier have demonstrated through all the years. It makes it a great place to work and a great place to invite others to come to work, and it's really been a great journey to take. So congratulations, Jerry and Sue, on 40 years of success in building a wonderful organization. It's been a great pleasure to be part of it, and I look forward to being here 10 years from now when we do the 50th anniversary.
Performing at the highest level of integrity and providing quality services have always been our guiding principles.